Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this year's Superintendent's Leadership Summit. As we wrap up another successful school year, take a moment to give yourselves a round of applause. Your dedication and hard work have truly made a difference in the lives of our 208,000 students. This past year has been filled with remarkable achievements, and it's important that we take this time to celebrate those successes. From innovative programs that have enriched our students' learning experiences to the tireless efforts that support our schools and operations, each and every one of you has played a vital role. Think back on the initiatives that have flourished, the collaborative projects that have strengthened our district, and the individual contributions that have gone above and beyond. Your passion for OCPS shines through in everything you do, and it's what makes our district so exceptional. Today marks not only a moment to reflect on these accomplishments, but also an exciting opportunity to look ahead. My first guest this morning is Chief Strategy Officer, Dr. Harold Bordert. How are you?
Great. Good morning, Dr. Vasquez.
Good morning. So you have had an eventful year working very diligently on our new strategic plan, right? OCPS 2030. Do you want to share some of the highlights of that plan? I know I am thrilled and so excited for the rollout.
Yeah, I would love to, Dr. Vasquez. It's been such a pleasure to work alongside you and the school board on OCPS 2030. And really this work began about a year and a half ago as we worked with our industry sector leaders and all of our stakeholders to develop our first ever Portrait of a Graduate, which is really a key piece in the North Star of our strategic plan, which will be our roadmap to success.
And we've never done Portrait of a Graduate before.
We have not. This is our first one. And so it will really be that beacon that pulls us back to the strategic plan over the next 5 years. And what's unique is, again, our industry sector leaders help drive that conversation with our stakeholders, but it's focused on 9 attributes and characteristics that we want all of our students to have when they graduate. So not just literacy and numeracy skills, but all the durable skills to be successful in career and life. Critical thinking, problem solving, communication, social responsibility, just to name a few of those. And so that Portrait of a Graduate really laid the foundation this year as we began working with our school board and executive leadership on the strategic plan. We had several planning sessions with the board, coming to consensus on our vision, and we want all of our graduates to be inspired and prepared for a thriving future. And so then we also have our mission, we have our commitments, we have value statements now. The value statements, the values are people first, safety, integrity, excellence, collaboration, and we've added statements to those so that we can make sure the definitions of those values are consistent across the organization. We also have market differentiators are still included in our plan, and then our key performance indicators. We have 5 bold key performance indicators that were really built upon when we took a look at the challenges that are unique to public education that we're currently facing and going to face in the years ahead. Those key performance indicators, of course, state assessment data is still there, but ensuring our students satisfy the Portrait of a Graduate elements, making sure that OCPS remains the #1 choice for families, ensuring that we attack chronic absenteeism, which has been a continual challenge for us, and that we continue to recruit and retain employees at an extremely high level the way that we have been. And so I get to work alongside an incredible team within the assessment, accountability, research, strategic improvement, and stakeholder feedback offices that will help support the plan and have been part of helping to build the plan this year. The board approved it in January, and we're looking forward to continual rollout. So some of the next steps is we will be sharing turnkey messages that all of our principals will be able to use with staff, PTA, SAC. Our chiefs will be utilizing those with all their departments this summer, and those will help us cascade the plan across the organization. We want every member of one OCPS to know how they impact students on a daily basis and will help us reach those key performance indicators in our plan And we want them to know how they prepare, inspire, and empower students. And so that is extremely exciting as we look forward to the next 5 years. Another asset of the plan that I would talk about is our strategies and measures of success. These are really like 12 to 18 month initiatives that we will be able to adjust, and we haven't really been able to do that in our past strategic plans. So it gives us the ability to be agile and nimble as we go through this next strategic plan.
So what sticks out to me is people first, right? Our focus, whether it's our students, our employees, our families, we want people to come above everything else. So I'm very, very excited about the rollout. When is the official rollout?
So the official rollout, I mean, really is today, but the plan will go into effect on July 1st.
That's exciting.
Very exciting.
I can't wait
Yes,
to hear
very
about
exciting.
that. So what other things have stood out for you this year from your division?
So our division is committed to customer service and making sure our stakeholders have what they need to be successful, school leadership, district leadership, and our teachers. And so tying into the strategic plan moving forward, some of that work this year is really amplifying student voice. I love what they've done to amplify student voice. They've supported you, Dr. Vasquez, on your student town halls at each of the high schools.
And that's been such an incredible experience for us to hear from our very own students about what's going well, how we can make their experience better. So I'm looking forward to extending those next school year.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. We've been able to, you've heard from over 1,000 students, which has helped us provide some possibilities for next year, which I know are coming soon and extremely exciting. Yeah. We've also taken the stakeholder survey. It's been more efficient. We had 250,000 stakeholders respond to our survey this year. We've also reduced those number of questions extremely, so more efficiency, but it also allows us to take a deeper dive. And from a cost perspective, we've reduced that by 75%. And so I think that has gone extremely well this year. The team's done a great job with that, and we do it now in the fall and the spring. And so it gives us some data over the course of a year as well that we can respond to. Looking forward to continuing that as well. So that's how, amplifying student voice has been one of those pieces. I also would say that from the past and moving into next year has been customer service. So this past year, with your teacher advisory committee, we were able to hear about some opportunities to potentially reduce some of their workload.
Yes.
And so the team went to work and developed a Power BI for the accountability denominator, which we believe has really reduced the need for teachers and administrators in having to provide data because it's readily available.
Yeah, it is. I'm going to get a little geekish on this, but I love what they've done with the data and how easy it is to view and to toggle through to be able to get down to that student level. So that's been amazing.
And so on the front for next year, we had the opportunity to pilot a customer service platform this year with the superintendent's inbox and transportation team called Let's Talk. And now we're working with central office. And so what is nice about that is it really, from efficiency standpoint, allows us to utilize artificial intelligence, and it's freeing up staff time then to provide the other supports that are necessary for a thriving organization, instead of things that we can use artificial intelligence to help all of our stakeholders get streamlined responses. And so that's gone well, and we're looking forward to how that can impact the organization moving forward.
Yeah, I'm excited, and I know our scores are not in yet, but I am feeling very positive about the hard work our teachers, support staff, administrators, students, and our families have put in this year to ensure our students are getting everything they need to be successful. So my fingers are crossed, but I feel like we really have done well, and so I'm excited about that. Thank you so much for your hard work, the team's hard work, and the impact it has had on our district and our students. I want to pause to thank our sponsors for this year's Leadership Summit. Thanks to the support of our Diamond sponsor, UDT, and Platinum sponsor, ClassLink, we were able to provide breakfast to everyone watching with your divisions this morning. I'm grateful for their continued partnership and support. I'll be back after the break with more guests. But first, I want to share a Slice story that you might have missed.
Welcome to the Oprah Winfrey Show. Here's Oprah.
Well, today I'm so excited because my kindergartners actually performed, and it was called the Black History Showcase.
Hi, audience, and the people watching at home. I'm Oprah, and welcome to the Black History Showcase.
And what we did, we just literally had Oprah Winfrey, one of our students, actually interview several of the famous Black Americans.
Venus, what did you like to do when you were a little kid?
And some of them really performed and did what that particular African American would have done. Children learn by doing. So we can say things as much as we want, but we need to have them get involved in what they're doing. And right now we do a lot with multisensory. You need to involve as many senses as possible when children are learning any skill. So for them to learn the facts about different African Americans who are very famous and then pretend to be that, emulate that, they'll never forget it.
I have a dream that one day my 4 little children will live in a nation. They will not be judged of the color of their skin, the content of their character. I learned that I always have to believe in myself. I have to be brave and believe I could do things. Now you can show me some of those fancy moves you do have.
Black History Month to me is important, and that's why I do what I do, because I want them to be aware and familiar with where they came from. What is my history like? You know, this person did this, I can relate to that because they are just like me. They're African Americans. They're able to see someone that looks like them, that sounds like them, and that are successful. So I can do that.
I can be anyone who I want to be. I have to be strong and eat my vegetables.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm joined now by Deputy Superintendent Dr. Michael Armbruster, our Chief Academic Officer, Dr. Tashonda Brown Cannon, and our Chief Schools Officer, Dr. Kathy Schuler. Well, it's been quite a year for the Division of Learning. I'm so excited. Mike, how would you describe this year?
Phenomenal. It was slow coming, but really fast going. It was a roller coaster all the way through. We did some incredible work. The reorg that we did 2 years ago has really paid off. It's a little early in the process, and I don't want to get too excited, but looking at the data, we're seeing some really positive results.
Yes, we are. I'm very excited about that.
There's a lot of hard work. The teachers, of course, in the classrooms, the principals, principal leaders, executive leaders, the CAO and the Chief Schools Officer, phenomenal work. Just been a lot of effort put into creating this 1.0 CPS idea that we've had and that we've been working towards.
Right, and it is a very cohesive team with alignment and focused on one thing. So I think it's been a great year. So I have my 2 wonderful, what I call academic gurus here. We have Tashonda and we have Kathy. So do you want to share some of the highlights of your year?
So we have had a phenomenal school year, and as you know, we are committed to ensuring that all second grade students are reading on grade level. And so that work really has been grounded in the science of reading. I am so proud of our school-based reading coaches. Each month they came and they participated in district-led professional learning. And then they went back to their schools and they trained teachers in grades K through 5 and their special area teachers every month. And so we have just heard phenomenal results, preliminary results with reading. The teachers have really enjoyed being led by their school-based coaches. The coaches have admitted that their ability to coach has been strengthened. They are walking classrooms, giving feedback, and we have just really created a safe space for learning this year, grounded in the science of reading.
Right, and we know that reading is the foundation for all that they are going to do, not only in school, but into adulthood. And so I too am so glad that we have been focused on the science of reading. And I know that we're going to see results this year but even as we move on, we're going to see even more incredible results. So I'm excited. So Kathy, tell us, what are some highlights about your year?
You know, principals are the second most important factor to improving student achievement next to the classroom teacher. So I'm really excited about the work that you and Dr. Armbruster allowed the leadership development team to accomplish this past year. We worked with a team of experienced principals, novice principals, experienced assistant principals, and novice assistant principals to develop a series of what we called collaborative coaching, where experienced principals coached the novice principals to improve student achievement and to improve their instructional practice. They conducted classroom walkthroughs. They visited each other's schools. They shared coaches. It was a phenomenal experience. And so I'm real excited about that. And we also culminated the year with what we call our Lead and Link Fair, where we had approximately 400 participants come together for professional learning. Just a great experience for our leaders. Next year, we hope to accomplish a mentorship program where we will engage those novice leaders through a mentorship program. We're so excited. Stay tuned for more to come.
Yeah, well, you know, with those numbers, I didn't realize we have so many that are in that critical span where they really are, you know, they hit the ground running trying to do their job, and then we still have to coach them up. And so I love the model. I love that people are getting an opportunity to visit each other's schools and to have those really important conversations. So Mike, if I were to, it's been a long year, but in some ways it's been a very fast year. So what's one thing that sticks out for you?
Really, you mentioned it earlier, you talked about the cohesiveness of the team. One of the things that I'm excited about is if people look, they're going to see a lot of our principals are staying at the schools. Our PLs, with the exception of retirement, are staying. Our assistant principals, those who are wanting to move for different reasons, are moving, but there's a great stability. And so for me, that stability leads to the next steps we're going to take, which I think we'll talk about momentarily probably, which is professional learning community, but it's that building of cohesion and stability that I think has been exciting for me.
Yeah, we've been in the district for a long time, but I'm sure you can remember, like me, when the Leadership Summit came around, everyone was like, maybe in some cases hiding because you didn't want to get the little tap on the shoulder that meant, oh my gosh, I'm going to get moved. I mean, I still have a little bit of a shake from those moments. So I'm glad to see that there is a lot more stability and that we are giving our leaders an opportunity to learn and grow where they're at, and in some cases, you know, whether it's getting closer to home or whether it's a different type of experience, that we are being flexible in that. So I think that's amazing. So Tashonda, what sticks out for you?
The Let's Read OCPS campaign.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. It was so exciting. You know, we started out with a goal of reading 20 million minutes, but we more than doubled that goal with 40 million minutes. And what really stuck out for me is that it was the community homeschool connection. We had our two mayors involved. The generosity of Dr. Phillips Charities gave us $20,000, so we were able to provide incentives. You and Dr. Armbruster just really led the way with our school board members, and so it was phenomenal. I believe next year we can reach 50 million minutes.
Oh my God.
And I'm not bragging, but I had a perfect streak all the way through. I entered every day. And people want to go back and look every day.
All right. Some of us were more focused on that. I did read, although I don't know that I logged. But I think that's great that we as a community have embraced reading, because we know that's the key to unlocking your future. So Kathy, if you were to kind of take a look at your year, what is one thing that really stands out for you?
Well, there are two things that stand out. And I want to chime in on the literacy initiative. Our family and community engagement team took part in really pushing that early literacy with our families, with our parents and our students. we have to date over 25,000 students signed up to receive books at home. We're so excited about that, and I'm sure they took part in logging in those reading minutes. And we're looking forward to increasing those numbers next year. I'm also excited about the work we did with connecting, inspiring, and linking our leaders together with our Trading Place initiative. You remember a long time ago, Dr. Vasquez and Dr. Armbruster and Dr. Brown-Cannon, we interned as principals to prepare for the principalship as an assistant principal. So we piloted a program with about 10 principals or 10 assistant principals, and we had them take the place of the principals in the school where they worked. And so the assistant principals got to experience that immersion, being a principal for 9 weeks. And guess what? The principal learned what it was like to be an assistant principal again.
That's good.
And the feedback that we received, that it was wonderful. Those assistant principals said that they felt better prepared to go into the role of principalship. And the principals said that they felt they built a community, a professional learning community with their assistant principal in school.
Yeah, that brings back memories. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think that's so critical that we have experiences that prepare us so we can really practice what we've been learning, but it's also important to be able to step back and walk in the shoes of others so that we don't forget what that journey is like. So I applaud those efforts. So Mike, I have one more question, and you know, we've done so much in the area of the division of learning, trying to bring a lot of stability, not a whole lot of change if it wasn't needed. And we've seen some very impressive results over these last couple of years. And now I think we are coming into what I call the piece de resistance, the professional learning community. And I'd like for you to share just a little bit about what that's going to look like, our goals, and what that journey is going to be like.
That's a really, really great question. You know, PLC is like my peanut butter and jelly. I love it. All the work we've done the last 3 years has really been to get ready for this next big leap, which is into professional learning communities. And as we've talked about, the professional learning community is each school is a professional learning community within itself, all working towards one goal, which is student success. The one thing that I want to really get across and make sure people understand is it's not more work, it's actually the work. It's actually what we should be doing, and if we do it well, we'll find out just how exciting it can be. Teachers get nervous when they hear this if they're not comfortable with it. Those who are in it love it. Yeah. Those who aren't are nervous, and I understand that because they think it's another top-down thing that they have to do. They're going to lose autonomy. But the truth of the matter is this whole concept, this whole model is about empowering teachers. It's about giving them the opportunity to have real input, to learn from each other, to grow from each other. It's when you've experienced it at a high level, and I've been fortunate enough to do that, you know it's an amazing thing. When you haven't, it's scary and it's nerve-wracking. But we've got a lot of schools out there doing it really well. We're not starting at zero. We've got the model in place. The cadre system is helping us. All of those things that we've done for the last 3 years are really, they've prepared us for this moment. And so it's time to take that leap and really go all in. And so we're going to start with an ILI on June 4th. We've got principals and teachers and others going to Solution Tree on July 16th, 17th, and 18th. And then we hit the ground running in August and we really make it happen. And I really believe we're in the right place, right time, right people to make it go.
Yeah, I do too. I really believe this is going to be the crown on the work that we have been doing over these last 3 years. And I'm very excited to see how this really can transform the work at the schools and the teachers really leading that work because they're the experts. So thank you all for the conversations this morning. I'm so thankful for the work that you did this past school year. And I am so excited about the work that's coming. Again, thank you all for sharing. We'll be back in a moment. Take a look at this life story.
Hello, hello, I'm so very glad to see you. Hello, hello, how are you today? This is the Access Music class. It's a music class for our ESE students, so our students with special needs, a special population. It's kind of encompasses all things, so we'll sing, we'll play instruments, we're gonna hang out, have a good time, dance, do some movement to some music, just different kind of things to get them experiencing music. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It really shows that music, it's so unique and it's so important, and it needs to be in everybody's life, because you can see it with this class, because they do truly have a sense of belonging that they might not necessarily have somewhere else. This is a place for them to be able to come and have this experience. Yeah, they're experiencing music, but really what they're getting out of it is more of a sense of belonging and a sense of pride in something that they're doing.
I love to have fun. I like to listen to music, dance, and yeah.
Music 110% is truly for everyone. Goodbye to you. All right, goodbye everyone. Have a great rest of your week.
Welcome back. I'm joined now by Chief Facilities Officer Rory Salambini, Chief Communications Officer Scott Howitt, Chief Financial Officer Doreen Concolino, and General Counsel John Palmerini. Wow, that's a mouthful between your titles and the names. So let's start with Rory. So Rory, as Chief Facilities Officer, this time last year, we were talking about the renewal of the sales tax, right, which is very important for not you personally, but our organization, right?
Well, yeah, it's very important. It's important for the school kids, right?
Yes.
All of our students. So, because it really does help us provide the facilities that they need to succeed.
And you have a robust program.
Oh yes, we have a very robust program, and thanks to the support, and I really give all the credit to Scott's team, but I do appreciate, it kind of is an endorsement of how well we've run the program in the past. But we're really, really busy. I know there's been a lot of discussion lately about, kind of an adjustment in our new school schedule, where there's going to be a few years when we don't have any new schools. Well, that time's not here just yet.
Right.
We're still building new schools.
Right.
So, and of course, we were happy to open 3 new schools this past year. Atwater Bay, Luminary, and Innovation. And we're really excited because those are the first iteration of a new prototype for the district.
They're beautiful, by the way.
We have now it's Luminary Elementary School. We just named it.
Yes.
Which will open up this year. That's going to provide relief to Laureate Park and Eagle Creek. We've broken ground on more relief in Lake Nona area with Site 97. That's going to relieve Moss Park and Sunblaze, and we're going to break ground any day now on Site 126 in Horizons West area, which is going to provide relief to Panther Lake and Water Spring. We also do replacements, and so we have a lot of replacements. Last year we completed the replacement for OTC West next to Ocoee High School.
Which is a gorgeous facility.
Yes, and it also is our first school with solar panels on the roof as well. So, and so we just energized that solar system, and so we're looking forward over the next year just to evaluate that system, see how it works out for us. OTC East, replacement for OTC East, is next to University High School, and that's we're just wrapping that up, so that's going to open up for the next school year. And then, in the design phase on the replacement, we have OTC South, which will be the last of the 4. Probably it'll rival the new high school in terms of one of the biggest projects that we've ever done.
Wow.
And so that's in the design phase. We're also designing a replacement for a STEAM Academy, moving that to the Pine Castle site. Excited about a Orlando Gifted Academy replacement. Those students they're getting ready to move out to the OTC former OTC East Campus in Winter Park, and they're going to be there until 2028 when we open up a brand new gifted academy as well. So we have that, and then this year we're going to start design on a replacement for Orange County Virtual.
Yeah. So still lots of work for your team.
That's just new school, so
Yeah, busy,
hopefully you
busy.
come back, because I have a lot more.
I will. I know
lot
you are
more
never short
things.
on words. All right, so let's shift now to communications, right? So Scott, your division is, I can't think of a downtime for you guys. Just so many things that have been going on, and you have a couple of new things, correct? That your team has been planning for this upcoming year. Why don't you share that?
Sure. So just to kind of recap the year, the half-cent sales tax was a big part of the fall for us and getting through that time period and getting it approved. 72% approval. It was the highest approval rate in the state, and it really was a team effort. It was really showing the impact that the half-cent sales tax has on our communities, on our students, and what that'll mean when we talk about renovations and those replacement schools that Rory talked about. Very pleased with that. Also, Mondays with Maria, 100th episode. Can you believe it?
No, I can't. But you guys are an incredible team.
Just incredible, and the team that does the video services and Sherry writing the scripts and doing all that, and we're just so proud. We've won our second national Telly Award for excellence in television and video. So we're very excited about that. That obviously is a big part of how we go about getting out critical information in a fun way to our stakeholders and our audiences. And we did the Mondays with Maria podcast this year.
Yeah, that was
deeper
new.
Dive into content. So something new this year, and going to expand on that maybe a little bit next year. Looking at doing some live podcasting where we can take on some call-ins or text in questions where you can answer
This is
those.
the look of surprise that had not been shared with me until this moment.
Well, of course, we're always going to drop a surprise or two in on you from time to time. So keep everyone on their toes, right? So very proud of that. The work of the foundation last year raised a record setting in the golf tournament. The school spirit run.
So much fun.
Was incredible. And then Top Talent, we just wrapped Top Talent. So we're going to raise close to $6.5 million this year. So
wow.
Amazing.
Yeah, so since 2016, that's up 5.5 million. So, and just incredible work that the foundation's doing and trying to continue to push the envelope and get us to 10 million a year by 2030. So we have new initiatives underway. Dr. Border, he spoke about the strategic plan and Portrait of a Graduate. We'll be rolling out that as part of our role in the communications division, trying to get that campaign going to make sure that we're really emphasizing the importance of what the strategic plan means to our employees, about preparing, inspiring, empowering our employees and what they do every single day.
And I'm excited that you're going to take a deep dive into what that looks like based on your role, right? Because typically when you think about the strategic plan, you're focused on the students, you're focused just on the big picture. But one of the things I'm very excited about is that you're going to have insights if you are in the food and nutrition department. This is how the
preparing meals, right?
Correct.
Or if you're a transportation, a bus operator, you prepare students for their day, whether you greet them when they're coming on the bus, you get them to their location and make sure they have a great start to a day. So really tying in the strategic plan and making it really part of the culture and bringing it into what we do as educators every day.
Okay, so the budget. So I'm gonna be positive, right? Because we know that with the declining enrollment, right? Because parents, have options as to how and where they can educate their children, we're seeing a declining enrollment. But let's focus on the positives from the chief woman of money in our district. So tell us, this past year, what are some of the things that you really are very excited about that they were able to accomplish?
So first, to piggyback off of Rory as well as Scott, the overwhelming approval of the half-cent sales tax. From my perspective, I'm looking at possibly $3.5 billion over 10 years. That's incredible for our capital budget. In terms of my team, fiscal services, we work very hard because we never know from day to day what may be happening, declining enrollment, budget shortfalls and such. The big initiative coming out of risk management insurance benefits is the launch of People One Health.
Yes.
People One Health is a primary care, urgent care facility for any employee or their dependents that are enrolled in one of our health plans.
And how many, do we have 4 or 5 now?
We have 4 sites right now. They are exploring a 5th site with over 5,000 employees currently enrolled. The big advantage there is there's no copay, no coinsurance, no deductible. There is no cost to the employee. The response to People One Health has been overwhelming, and we're anxious to start seeing some of the data and how that may actually reduce costs to the Employee Benefits Trust.
Yeah, and I've been to at least one of the facilities, I think 2, and they're beautiful. People are very positive, and actually some of the feedback that I've read, people really are very excited, and we know that we want our employees to be healthy. And so I hope that more will take advantage of People One Health, because I do think that's been an incredibly positive incentive for our employees.
Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about the Wellness Wagon.
So the Risk Management Wellness Department launched the Cigna Wellness Van this year. It is staffed with a registered nurse health coach, provides employees opportunity for biometric screenings, as well as some tips on healthier lifestyles. It has been very popular. Over 54 schools have requested the van and been very favorable response. So if anybody out there would like the van to come to their school, reach out to the Wellness Department.
That's pretty cool. All right. So our General Counsel, how are you today?
I'm doing very well, Madam Superintendent. How are you?
I'm doing great. I don't know that many know you are actually an OCPS grad, are you not?
I am. I went to Zellwood Elementary, Apopka Memorial Middle School, and I graduated from Apopka High School in 1994. And I also have a son who just graduated from Apopka High School this year. So
proud dad.
I'm very proud father, yes.
So in your arena, legal services, what would you say is a highlight of this past year?
Well, the highlight of this year, I came into this position new August of last year. And so the first 4 or so months of it was just assessing the team. I had worked with all of the lawyers that we had before, but it was different. I was in more of an oversight role, so I was seeing what worked, what needed to be shifted around. Also had to shift my work around to various other folks. So a lot of my first 4 months through the winter break was just assessing the team, seeing how it would work. But we've gotten that down. We're going to be getting a new staff attorney coming up here soon that's going to service facilities, Rory and his folks, and we're excited about that. But some of the things that were exciting for us this year, as you know, a lot of our work is more reactive rather than proactive because it's dealing with issues that come into the district. And we try to be proactive to head things off at the pass. You can't always do that. One of the things, helping out Rory and his team, our Boone Comprehensive Renovation Project, there was a protest over that. We were able to work a solution to that. With respect to Scott's team, I don't know how many times I counted words in the actual referendum because, as you know, there has to be a 75% 5-word limit, and the OCD kicked in, like, I'm not going to allow this to go down because I had 76 words in there. So it was multiple times counting it through, but just working through the legal issues associated with making sure it got over to the county, making sure it got on the ballot. There was a fun backstory on that, which we won't go into, but it passed and everything was great. With respect to Doreen and her team, as you know, we had a protest with regard to our third-party administrator for health insurance. So a lot of my time and my team's time in October, November, December, January, February was getting that process through, because we had it as part of a request for proposal, and then we withdrew the request for proposal and we went to direct negotiations with 2 entities, and it was a very interesting process, one we haven't done before, but we learned a lot going through it. So a lot of that work was done. We were helping the team get projects across the line. Another thing that we were proud of in legal services was our SRO negotiations. As you know, that took a lot of our time over the last 6 months, but we were able to get that all through the line and get coverage for our kids for the next 2 years going forward. And I mean, as the father of a son who just graduated and a daughter who's going into 9th grade, ensuring that we have protection at our schools makes me feel better as a parent. Sending my kids to school every day, it makes us feel better as administrators to ensure that we have a safe campus. So the work that we do to help the team get these projects across the line has been very, very valuable and very rewarding. And I have to say, I've worked with all the lawyers in legal services as a colleague, and they have been spectacular and fabulous. They are top-notch lawyers. They're even better people. So I'm honored to lead that team.
We do have great people in our organization.
Yes, we do.
We do.
So Scott, declining enrollment is something that we're hearing not just here, but across the state. Talk to us about a strategy that you and your team are rolling out.
So this past year with the marketing efforts, we piloted 10 schools working with middle schools on enrollment efforts, looking at kind of demystifying that middle school. We know that had become an issue in declining enrollment. And moving forward, we're working with a third-party vendor that is actually out there in the community, talking to families who may have chosen to take their students out of Orange County Public Schools, talking them into coming back into their local neighborhood school, or one of the choice options that we have in our magnet schools. So really out there trying to recruit and working on retaining our students, because we know that we really have a great product here in Orange County Public Schools, and our neighborhood schools really are the best option for our families and our children, and we want to show them that. And so working through that process with our marketing team has been a great work this past year, and will continue next year.
All right, so that was kind of a look back to this year. So let's look forward. And so coming up 25-26 school year, what are some of the things we should look forward to from our Chief Facilities Officer?
Just a lot of projects going on. So we're adding additional capacity, not just in new schools, but with our capacity enhancement project, classroom additions. So this year we'll be finishing up classroom additions at College Park and Hunters Creek and Westridge Middle School, and Dr. Phillips and Hunters Creek and Whispering Oaks Elementary School. We have another classroom addition at Oak Ridge under design. And we're going to start design on classroom additions for Dr. Phillips and Cypress Creek High Schools. And so that's kind of the new capacity piece. We've touched a little bit on our comprehensive renovations, which is actually the bigger part of our program. And so we have 5 comprehensive renovations underway right now. Howard and Lakeview Middle School, 3 Points Elementary, and then a couple of big ones at Winter Park High School and Colonial High School. And at Colonial, we're going to be expanding that capacity to bring the 9th grade center onto that campus and consolidate that as part of that project. We have 13 more comprehensive projects in design, some of them pretty big. Timber Creek High School, Jones High School, and Olympia High School for the high schools in that group. And those will be going into construction, most of them over the course of the next school year. And because of the sales tax passing, we can start planning the next round. And so we have 12 more planned for the next round. A big one in that's going to be Boone High School. We're going to replace several buildings on that campus. All of that also, I mean, those are the big renovations. Then I have the capital renewal program.
Right.
I have 89 projects at 143 sites that we're actively working on right now in one way or another.
Massive.
46 of those projects at 120 sites are actually in the construction phase. So just a ton of projects. You add all that up, it's $3.3 billion. That's billion with a B of dollars that were projects that we're actually planning or designing or building. Right now, 1.1 billion is in the construction phase. So incredibly busy on the sales tax funded program. We have a few other things that are going on district-wide. You know, one of the things that John's office helped was the Juul settlement that's allowing us to put vape detectors, you know, a large portion of the project to put vape detectors in our high school, middle school group toilet rooms was funded by that. And sometime over the course of this coming year, we'll be wrapping that up. I know the increased security requirements where all the doors have to be locked are a big deal for schools. And so we've been working, and we're getting into the installation phase of additional card readers, so that by the end of this calendar year, every building should have an ability to be accessed by at least one card reader. And then probably one other project of note in that area is sunshades on our youth lots. So we've undertaken a project, and that's underway now, to put sunshades on all of our youth lots. And so that's underway, and that's going to take place over the course of the next year.
Yeah, it's Florida and it's hot.
It is. That's a ton of projects.
It is.
And it's hard for me to keep track of, so we know it's hard for the schools to keep track of them as well. And so we're going to roll out really for everybody's use, but particularly for schools, because a lot of schools have multiple projects going on, different project managers, different phases, and so again, it's hard for them to keep track. So we've got a new report that we're going to be rolling out that's pretty much going to be live, and so it'll provide information on the project, when the construction's expected to start, most importantly, who the project manager is, where they can get more information on the project. So we're pretty excited about that. I don't want to leave out maintenance and custodial. So we did roll out this past year a new work order system, Facilitron. Hopefully the schools are finding that it's much more transparent in terms of the information that we're providing, and we want to continue to improve that in terms of the quality of the information that's available there. It's obviously made it easier to initiate work orders, because we got 10,000 more work orders this year than we did, and I'm pretty proud of my maintenance team, because they've maintained the response rate even with the additional work orders that have come from the facility, from Facilitron. So we're pretty excited about that. And finally, on the custodial side, we've got 80 more certified custodians that have the Florida School Plant Management Association certification. We're seeing the results in our schools. Our inspection scores have gone up. We had a 4% increase over the past year. I think, thank you for some of the budget that you provided. We've been able to replace a lot of the major equipment, so we shouldn't have like a floor scrubber out there that's over 20 years old. And so we've been able to make some progress in that area as well. One other thing I didn't mention, that I forgot to mention, back on the cap renewal program. So one of the things that we've started doing recently, and you'll see a lot more of it in the coming year, is we've expanded to use the cap renewal to some areas that we hadn't done them before, and that's playground replacement. So we have a lot of playground replacements in the pipeline. Auditorium refreshes, where we're replacing seating and lighting and sound systems in our auditoriums. We've expanded it into carpet replacements. So by the end of this coming year, we shouldn't have any carpet that's older than 15 years, unless I've got a comprehensive renovation right around the corner. And interior painting as well. So we're bringing that down to a 12-year cycle on interior painting. So all of that, again, because of the great support that we have through the sales tax program.
And you know, people that come and visit always comment on how beautiful our facilities look, how updated they are, the technology. So kudos to your team, not just for the building, but for the maintaining of those buildings. We're very fortunate and very grateful to the voters that have approved it, and you can drive anywhere and really see the impact of the halfpenny. Okay, so let's see, Scott, you have had quite a busy year. As you're looking forward to next year, there's a project that is
Huge.
It's huge. That's going to really impact all stakeholders. So why don't you give us a brief description and kind of where it's going?
So we're going to be rolling out a Parent Square, which is our communication platform. It's a consolidated communication platform, so it'll include your mass communications when we send out from the district or from the school to employees to families. It'll also include two-way communication, so that would be your teachers to families, families to teachers. And also an app, so you'll be able to get information through the app, through the feed on your computer when you log into Parent Square, and the website, which moving and transferring all of the information from our current platform over to Parent Square, it'll all be consolidated into one area. So as an employee or as a parent, you can log on and see all the information that you need to have. You can select how you want to receive that information, if it's just regular non-emergency information,
right.
Because if it is an emergency, you'll get it every way possible, but it will help to streamline and consolidate our communication moving forward, and it'll give us the ability to speed up the pace in which we give information to get it more quickly to our stakeholders, but then also for them to be able to digest it in a way that they want to see it. So if they don't want to get the call, they can get the text, or if they don't want to get the email, they can get the call, and the call, of course, will come through the system the same way. So it's quite an undertaking, but we're looking forward to the rollout after July 1.
It's a lot of work preparing for it, but I think when it's all said and done, having everything on one platform is going to be worth the little inconveniences that we're feeling right now. So
Absolutely. Excited
about that, so that our community, our employees really have a better system of communication.
Absolutely.
So Doreen, as you are looking to next school year, and we know due to declining enrollment, we are looking to have about $28 million, give or take, less. And also, we don't have a final budget yet because they are still in session trying to come to an agreement. So as you look towards the next school year, what are a couple of highlights that you want to share?
The finance team is introducing School Cash Online, which is a user-friendly payment platform which should significantly help our school bookkeepers with reconciliation and to streamline the process across all schools for consistency.
That's good.
That should be rolled out in July, and we are awaiting final word for training in June, so stay tuned for that. Also, we are introducing a school bookkeeper mentor program. And this will mirror what the Division of Learning has rolled out with the school secretary mentor program. That's been very successful.
Yes.
And the Office of Management and Budget then is now rolling out the school bookkeeper mentor program, just to provide some support and confidence to our employees, and also a place where they can go to get help, to get their questions answered.
It's hard when you're the only one at your school, and so
Correct.
having somebody that you can reach out to, whether it's that you don't know or you just want assurances, like, am I doing this right? So I'm looking forward to hearing the feedback about that rollout, because it's critical that you can have someone to just listen to you, to bounce ideas off of and problem solve. So
Absolutely.
Looking forward to that. And so in our wonderful world of legalese, you have a year under your belt, you've got a dynamic team in place. What are you looking forward to for next year?
As you've seen with the change in the administration, we've seen a lot of court decisions going one way or the other about things in education, and it hasn't shaken out yet. So we're thinking in the next year that these decisions in various things, when you talk about the Department of Education staffing in Washington, D.C., what regulations are going to be in place, that's all going to shake out, and we're going to have to respond to how that shakes out, whichever way it is. So we're going to be assessing that and going forward and trying to figure that out. And I think dovetailing along with that, I've gone through a year now with my team, and we've had discussions about, training staff. We haven't had that in a little bit of time, and in what ways we can do that, whether it's, we do a video once a month. They're on various topics. So I think one of the things that we're going to do is put out through your staff, hey, what topics do you want to see legal training on, and see what's the best way to deliver that. So I think that's the main things we're going to concentrate on. But once again, it's all going to be reactive to see what comes down the pike from the various stakeholders, whether it be the federal government or the state government, because as you know, we get different direction at different times, and we have to be flexible and adjust to it.
Yes, we do. So legal camp may be coming back. Oh my gosh!
I didn't quite say that.
I heard that, didn't you?
No,
It'll be virtual camp.
Virtual. Thank you guys for joining me, and thanks for a wonderful year. I'm really excited about next school year and all of the great things that are going to be happening within your division. Our final group of chiefs are up after this Slice Story. Stay tuned.
Whole thing in. Boom. Perfect. You got it. We were one of the 21 pilot schools. We compost for breakfast, for lunch, with the help of everybody that supervises the cafeteria during our lunch duty and our outstanding custodial staff. We've managed to be #1. So I'm really excited about it.
We have diverted about 31,000 pounds of trash and food waste going to our landfills. We're making an impact. I had no idea we're going to make an impact that great this year.
We can compost this. So just drop that. Now
when everyone's done eating, the compost police, they go up, and when people come to compost, they make sure they put the compost into the compost bin and the trash into the trash bin.
The program is really good. I'm helping the earth stay nice and healthy. I'm helping the trees.
are you eating this? Seeing all the food that's wasted, I wanted something more to be done. Plus, we do have a garden club, and the idea that we got some of the composting back to put in our garden was really exciting.
Good job. Thank you. If every school in Orange County were to start this program, I believe every school would make a difference. Even 100 pounds, 500 pounds, 1,000 pounds will make a difference at each school. That's less waste going to our landfills.
Go ahead, dump your milk. They need to learn that we can't just throw everything away. That, you know, the landfills only have so much, and that this can be turned into something useful to help us grow. So it's just part of all that learning process, that we don't want to just throw it away. There's not enough space in our earth, like we're running out of room. So this is a great way to, you know, take what we're not eating and turn it into something useful.
Good job. Thank you.
Welcome back. I'm joined now by Chief Operations Officer Roberto Pacheco, Chief of Staff Rob Bixler, Chief Information Officer Maurice Dragon, and Deputy Superintendent Dr. Bridget Williams. So thanks so much for being here. Dr. Williams, let's start with you. As you reflect on the year, what stands out and what should we be looking forward to?
If you don't mind, I'd like to start off by thanking my team. I work with School Board Services, who actually supports our 8 board members. In addition to that, I mentioned last year that Les Vaughn is now on our team. And I'd like to thank Les, who's in charge of records management, and his team. As you can remember, last year, I mentioned the fact that we would be looking into attainable workforce housing for Orange County Public Schools employees. Well, I got some great news to share with you. And in fact, at the last board meeting, our board approved of one of many agreements that we have in place. One that I'm really excited about is Catch-Like Housing. That is actually an apartment complex that Universal Studios is building.
Wow.
Actually started out for their employees, but guess what? Because of the great partnership we have with Universal Studios, they've also included OCPS employees within that. So the agreement that we have is what you call set-asides.
Okay.
So they will set aside a number of apartments just for OCPS employees. And of course they have to apply like if they were applying for any other apartment complex, but this is based on income. This is based on the number of people that they have in the family, number of kids. And that will determine how much rent they pay during that month. We have 2 agreements with 2 housing complexes in the Apopka area.
Yeah, that's great.
And in fact, on the 28th, we had a groundbreaking ceremony. Yes, with One Stop Housing. In fact, we have 2 agreements with them. One is the Palms, and the other is actually the Colonial Housing. Both are actually located on Colonial Drive, which is right downtown. So we have agreements in the Apopka area, we have agreements downtown, we have agreements near Universal Studios. And to be honest with you, we have a lot more that are coming in, and will hopefully be approved by the board. So this year has been a busy but a good year for us. Yeah. The goal, of course, is for our employees to be able to work where they live. Once again, to work where they live. And the great thing about this, Dr. Vasquez, is the fact that, for instance, with many of the agreements that we have, it did not cost OCPS a dime.
We have great partnerships.
We have great
with
partners.
The city, and they have been able to really work with us hand in hand on attainable housing.
Yes, they have.
That's great.
They have.
That is wonderful.
Yeah.
So, Maurice, this has been a very interesting year, right? For all of us. Sometimes it seemed long, and sometimes it seemed like time just flew by. So, what are you most proud of?
I am most proud of the work that the team did with the CTE department working on their focused student information system. The student information system is the central place where, you know, a organization needs to have all their student information, everything organized, and it can sometimes take a long time, sometimes years, to get a student information system up and running, and the team has worked this year nonstop to make sure that we can have CTE ready to go back to school coming up in August. So I'm really, really proud of the work that we did there.
Yeah, you should be. I remember implementation of the other SIS, and it was quite laborious. So hats off to you and your team, because I know that's a huge feat.
Thank you.
Okay, so Rob, Chief of Staff, right? So you've got so many things that are under you. What would you say is maybe not your greatest, or maybe it is, a highlight of the year?
I have a couple when I was thinking about this. So obviously I think one of the big projects for the year was the Labor Management Committee. And that's where members of the district team meet monthly with members of the CTA bargaining unit, just to kind of have cross communication, try to solve problems before they become problems, and have a great dialogue. So I think that was a major project this year. But some of the other things I thought about, kind of reflecting back, are a little bit smaller, but they have a lot of meaning to me. So we started the VPK Reading Pals program. which
yes.
members of my team, members of the elementary division, members of the CAO division went out and read to VPK classes 4 times over the course of the year. And that always grounds you, brings you back to what it's all about. And so that was like one of my favorite things. And then I think lastly, the hero visits.
Yes.
You know, again,
you did that when
I
you
was,
were in the Division of Learning, and
right.
you've carried it over into your new role.
Right, and again, it reminds you of the why you do what you do, and going out and visiting, whether it's classroom teachers, we partnered with CDL this year, or going out to visit classified staff and kind of reading what their administrators say about them and the work that they do. You just can't beat those visits. So to me, those 3 things probably were the highlights of the year.
That's great. And you're right. When you go out and you're doing one of those hero visits, you just feel the emotion that comes with that, and your heart is just so full. We have an amazing team.
We do.
In our district. I think it's a little bit over 25,000 or close to 25,000 employees.
Yeah.
Hey, Roberto, your division has so many arms, right? Transportation, food and nutrition, just to name 2 of them. So what sticks out for you this year as a big moment?
You know, there's multiple big moments, actually. Like you mentioned, 7 different departments, 7 of sizes, but we all get to support our students and making sure that we can get them to the finish line. But some of that really stand out, for example, is for a small department like BCCO.
Yeah.
You know, one thing that we mentioned last year is that we were going to be implementing a new software to allow for our permitting, the submittal of permit requirements, and also for drawings and documents review. So they implemented that. They provided some training to our customers in order to be more efficient. And that's a team that definitely, efficiency has to be key because they're so small and they're so mighty at times.
And there's so much construction that's going on in our school district.
Definitely. You know, they issued more than 1,000 permits for the year. They conducted more than 11,000 inspections.
Wow.
They issued more than 500 either certificate of occupancy or compliance certificates. And they don't only stop there because they expanded their capabilities. They added 5 provisional licenses for examiners and 3 licenses for inspectors. And those inspectors are also supplemented by a fire marshal team who conducted more than 1,200 inspections for the year. But the numbers keep on growing because another team, like you mentioned, food services, we're finishing the 2nd year of our community eligibility program, CEP, which allow us to feed our students at no charge.
Right.
So that one equated for them putting together more than 40 million meals for the year.
That's an astonishing number.
That's amazing.
Wow.
That's around 2,000 meals more per day than the previous year.
Wow.
So, you know, that is a huge achievement, but because they know that not only producing the meals is important, but they have to be appetizing to our students. Yeah. They had a show this year related to breakfast. We know that we have to improve on breakfast, so we had about 130 students for 7 different schools representing all grade levels vote on new menu items. And because of their input, we're going to have 10 new menu items on our breakfast for next year. District Police continues to support the efforts of meeting not only the requirement, but improving the security of our students. They implemented dialogue with District Police, an initiative that we have a meeting where principals and assistant principals, all other school administrators can join and ask questions about compliance. Safety and emergency management, we did a revamp of our reunification plan. That was possible because of the exercise that took place last summer. I don't know if you remember, very well attended.
Yes.
We had more than 600 people in attendance, and we were able to implement some of the lessons learned from that exercise. We even had a school district from Alaska joining us. I don't know if they wanted to get out of the school or just learn about us.
Sunshine.
The sunshine, no. But with joking aside, they really they were amazed by hear about the event, and they wanted to come and learn more from it. Again, if you think about all these efficiencies that we create, we know that funds and money are going to be very critical for us. Procurement is another team that his actions are very important to our district. This year, their efforts on not only on negotiations and competition will led us to avoid expending more than $50 million for the year.
Wow.
That is because we need to make sure that we stretch those dollars.
Yes.
And that is money that not only Physica can give back to our CFO, but it's money that we didn't get to spend. However, there's some money that we can give back to the district, which is in the form of rebates. And this year, we were able to accumulate $430,000 worth of rebates. And that's money that can go back to the archives of the district. Another team that indirectly helped with amounting some savings to the district is our environmental team. You know, because of our environmental efforts, they have been able to achieve more than 19 million pounds of recyclables not going to the landfill. And in connection with those efforts as well, we finalized our pilot program between food services and sustainability. We diverted about 543,000 pounds of food not going to the landfill. We use chair tables, we use composting, and we use donation to different non-for-profit organizations locally. Yeah. So that sounds like a lot, but it's not everything that we did. But
yeah, but it's great to hear the success of all of the departments within your division. So kudos to all of you for all of the efforts for this past year. So now let's kind of look forward, right? We're closing out the books officially June 30th, just a couple of weeks away, and July 1 officially starts our 25-26 school year. So what should we be looking forward to? So let's start with Maurice. What's on the horizon for us as it relates to your division?
We have a lot of things planned for the upcoming school year. So first, we are going to begin our refresh of the high school devices, and that refresh will provide not only newer devices for high school students, but it will use a new model for pinning the devices that will give the district more flexibility with some of the repair and the funding. The second thing we're going to do for this upcoming year that I'm really excited about is we're doing a lot with data. So we have done a lot of groundwork this year to build up the reports.ocps.net site that we have to make sure that it is a really comprehensive place for folks to be able to get data about the students who are in their classroom. And then we are doing a lot with our behind the scenes with our network. So we are trying to make sure that when folks log into the network that their experience is still the same. But at the same time, we're making some really critical changes to make sure that we are keeping things protected.
Yes.
And so I'm excited about those changes. And then we are also making a change to the way that Google Drive files are shared. And that may seem that it may sound mundane, but we use Google Drive heavily inside this district.
We do.
And so we're making a change to make it streamlined and easier to recognize whether you're sharing files with everyone, with those teachers, or with students, so that you can have more surety when you're sharing a file that the folks you want to see it can see it, and the folks that you don't want to see it cannot. So I think that will be a positive change for the district. And then the final piece I'll share is the work that we're doing with AI. AI has been a major theme, I think, for the year overall in technology, and we have some great AI tools that teachers and students are going to have access to. One of the ones I'm really excited about is Conmigo. So Khan Academy, they have an AI tool called Conmigo. Now, every single teacher has access to Conmigo, and that's going to be a really great tool that they can use to help them with lesson planning, to help them with creating newsletters or other communication for their either with their students or even with parents. And also there is Conmigo for students in high schools, where they can now get additional support if their lessons have been created that will enable them to use that AI. So really excited about those tools.
And you know, one of the things that I really like about the Conmigo platform is that it's not like I use ChatGPT, right? It doesn't just give you the answer, which for students they might think, oh, I'd rather just have the answer. But it really, they have done an incredible job of building a system that asks different questions or prompts the students that indirectly try to get them to the answer. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
It is one of the tools, and there are lots of different AI tools and resources that are out there, but one, they're tools that are really built with education in mind. And this is one that was built with education in mind. It's not just going to, if you say what's 3 plus 2, it's going to say, I see you're trying to do some math here. Let's work on this together. It's not just going to tell you that it's 5.
Right.
So it's education focused. It's going to protect data. So it's not going to just take the data and use it to train the system or anything else like that. And they've really been thoughtful about how they are creating a system that educators and students can use in a very effective way. So I think it's going to be a great tool for folks to have access to.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I played a little bit with the tool, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, if I would have had this when I was teaching, we won't say how many years ago, but it's been a long time, it really would have been a great tool for the kids to really learn and have that additional support. So I'm thrilled that we're moving in that direction. So Roberto, you told us about this year and all of the great things that have happened within the division, but if you were to look towards our next school year, 25-26, what would you say you're most excited about?
I'm excited about many things that are coming our way. Providing services to the district definitely excites us in operations. One of the things is transportation. For example, this year we started using RFIDs for our students, which allow them to be tracked when they get in on the bus or get off the bus, which allow for parents to use their app to find where the student bus is. So we will continue to expand on that because that information allows us to be more efficient when we do our routing and make better use of our drivers, which is a very precious resource for us. In technology related as well, something that is going to be taking place is the implementation of a new procurement system, Ariba. Even though the change is difficult, change not always, but it's better. I always say, hey, let's make a change before the ice beneath our feet melts. And I think that is something that we're doing. Even though the system is coming to an end, the new system that we're implementing, we find out that has a lot of better functionalities. It's going to make it more user-friendly. Something else that is happening next year as well is that if we talk about who's the most famous OCPS employee, and I know during Mondays with Maria, you mentioned it, that could be our K9 Coco.
Yes.
Well, K9 Coco is going to have to share the spotlight.
Because that's right. We're getting another one.
We get another one. We had an initiative that we were able to get enough funds donated in order for us to be able to get a new K9 and expand our capabilities. So the question will be, who's the second most famous OCPS employee at the end of next year? Then Sustainability in Action is a van that is going to be coming to a street or a school near you. Through a donation, our sustainability team was able to get a van that will be able to bring to schools to work on curriculum, field trips, make it exciting for our students to be able to learn about sustainability, have to be better citizens of our earth. And lastly, again, with the same theme of being able to stretch our dollars, make the most better use of our resources, our safety and emergency management team partnered with a transportation team, and they're going to convert one of our older buses, the one that we're not using anymore, into our logistics vehicle for reunification. Those vehicles could cost upwards of $100,000s of dollars. Our team realized that we need to make sure that we save money, we realize our resources, so that's what we're doing.
I'm looking forward to seeing that because, we plan for those types of emergencies, but we hope we never have to implement the plan. So, I'm really curious to see what that bus is going to look like. That's great. I might even want to drive the bus.
Yes, any day. You know, we have a training course, so if any cabinet member wants to go drive a bus, just let me know, and we can definitely put you behind one.
So let's turn to Dr. Williams. So Dr. Williams, your department, deals with school board services. You also have the Laswan and his team. And as you are looking forward to next year, what should we be on the lookout for?
I like to stay with what we're doing with workforce housing, because this is a long-term plan. I would like for us to build our own, to continue working with the City of Orlando, or to continue working with, say, Universal Studios and maybe Disney World, and look at those partnerships. And at this point, we are looking at land that we own. And why not partner, say, with the City of Orlando, to where maybe half of the apartments are there for our bus drivers, our food service workers, or our teachers, and why not the other half to police officers, firefighters, those that work for the City of Orlando? Why can't we partner? We have great partners in this community.
Yeah, and housing, unfortunately, here in Central Florida and in Florida has really gone up, and the salaries have not gone up to meet that demand. And so you do see a lot of folks that are having to either live with someone else or have multiple roommates, or they're moving out because they can't afford the housing here in Florida. So we'll be looking out for your continued expansion
We'll continue with that.
of
We
the
will.
workforce housing, because I do think it's critical that we partner with those that believe in OCPS, they're our employees, and want to make life better for them. So excited for that.
Yes.
All right, so last but certainly not least, okay, Rob, as you're looking towards next year, what's on the horizon?
I'm going to use Maurice's word, refresh. I'm known for refreshing many things in this division. And so I think we're going to be refreshing, taking a look at the new manager orientation, kind of looking back at what it used to be and kind of refreshing it and kind of making it forward thinking about what we're dealing with now in OCPS. We're also refreshing Great Beginnings, or the new induction program. Wanting to honor teachers' time more, letting them take credit for work they're doing or PD they're doing at the school site or PD they're taking during the school year. So I'm looking forward to that, more to come, but I'm excited about that. You mentioned the 25,000 employees in our first kind of segment of questions. And next year will be a big year, because we're going to start the refingerprinting process of 25,000 employees, which is required by the state. The HR compliance team did a little mini version of that this last 9 weeks to help us to figure out what's working, what wasn't working, and to kind of get better. But over the next several years, we have to refingerprint and rebadge 25,000 employees. So that's a big project that's coming.
Oh my gosh.
But we'll make it work.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. Well, thanks to all of you. It's great hearing about the success of this current school year, and I'm excited about what's to come in 25-26. I want to express my deepest gratitude to each and every one of you. Your dedication to Orange County Public Schools is truly inspiring, and it's what makes our district a place where students can thrive. In countless ways, every day, you contribute to the success of our students. No matter the role, your commitment creates the foundation upon which our students build their futures. I truly admire your resilience, passion, and unwavering belief in the potential of every child. Together, we will continue to prepare, inspire, and empower our students in order to lead them to success. I hope that during the summer you're able to refresh and recharge as we prepare for the next school year. Thanks for watching, and enjoy the rest of your time together with your division colleagues.